There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks.
This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters. Hello. Good evening, everyone connected. Good evening and welcome to the leadership platform. My name is Samuel Eyim, your host for tonight, and we're going to discuss leadership. The platform has been away for some time, as we announced at our last meeting. We went on a break, but we are back, and we are back in full vim. We're going to learn, we're going to grow, we're going to enrich each other. So for those of you who have been regular participants on this platform, we say welcome back. And for the new participants, we say we are excited that you are joining us, that you will not regret. We are going to bring on this platform relevant topics of leadership and of interest to you. We are going to bring seasoned leaders, speakers, teachers who will share views and ideas that can help you to grow. This platform is for you, and we are excited that you are sharing part of your Saturday evening with us. Now, we want to know you, so everybody connected, please share in the comments section. Just put your name and where you are joining from, if possible, your organization. That would be helpful. So just let us know you. I'm Samuel Eyim of the CTL Africa, and I'm speaking to you from Ghana. So we want to know you. Just type your name into the chat and let's know you. And we are going to have a presentation for up to about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Then thereafter, you would have opportunity to share your views. You would also have opportunity to ask questions. So please feel free to interact with us and share your views as we go on. If you're learning something, feel free to put it in the comments. Whether you are on YouTube, on Facebook, you can, ask questions and we will come back later on to discuss. We're going to be together for an hour and a half, depending upon how the discussion goes. So stay with us. Today, we are going to talk about an important subject. And previously, we've talked about very, very important subjects, from emotional intelligence. We've talked about leading in a disruptive environment. We've talked about growing as a leader. We've talked about the levels of leadership. We've talked about finance for leaders. We've talked about so many things. And this year, we're going to talk about additional topics. We're going to talk about business leadership in so many aspects. We are going to talk about leading people, winning with people, how to lead your boss, how to lead your peers, how to lead your subordinates, how to grow as a leader. We're going to talk about everything that is relevant to you as a leader that would enable you to grow. But this evening, we are going to talk about how to strengthen your leadership foundations. This is the first platform 2021. And so we want to begin from the beginning. And we want you to be with us. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and let's know you so that we can connect with you as we go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see it as we start to learn. All right, so let's see. All right. Okay, so can you see my screen? Kofi, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? All right, so silence means consent. So I assume that you can see my screen. So we are talking about strengthening the foundations of your leadership in 2021. And we're talking 2021 because we are in 2021, obviously, but also because of the circumstances in which we find ourselves in 2021. And if I move on briefly, we are in, still in a COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic that started in 2020 is continuing in 2021 with full force. The numbers are increasing. The disruption to the economy is increasing. Social disruptions are increasing. Countries are still shutting down. Businesses are shutting down. Tougher restrictions are being imposed by government. We have a lot of, what we call fake news. A lot of conspiracy theories are on. But we also know that there is a silver lining. There is a vaccine coming up. People have already started taking it. Many countries are working to get us a vaccine. But we are not in normal times. As we speak, over 106 million people have tested positive for COVID. And this includes my own father who tested positive for COVID, was hospitalized recently. We just got him out of hospital last night. It was a bit scary. All of us were scared and we had to test for the full family. Fortunately, God is with us. But so many people are not that lucky. Over 2.3 million people have died in COVID-related cases, but also several people have recovered. As we speak, over 26 million people are still living with the disease, and they are active cases, which means they may be critical, maybe in critical conditions, and so on and so forth. So we're not in normal times. These times, therefore, show a lot of volatility for leaders, for businesses. Things are not clear. Things are changing every day. This is what is called a VUCA environment. Okay, VUCA is a term that is developed by the American Army to describe a situation which is flux, which is volatile, which is uncertain, which is complex and ambiguous. And this is the time that leaders are needed even the more, because these times are when people are looking for leadership. And to respond to a VUCA situation, we have to be smart in the way we respond to volatility. In a volatile situation, what is required is leaders with vision, because things are changing. So you need to have a vision that people can buy into, that can hold people to be able to continue. We need understanding in times of uncertainty. When things are changing the way we are seeing now, we need to be able to, um, to understand. Leaders need to build and understand what is going on so that they can lead better and guide their people. In times of complexity, what is required is courage. People have to be bold. I mean, leaders are placing a lot of restrictions, and these restrictions are not easy on people. But we need to protect people, so there's need for courage to be able to make bold decisions, even though things are not sure. Then, in an ambiguous situation, we need to adapt. And we are seeing businesses adapting every day. We are now working from home. People are doing shifts. We're working online. We used to do training physically. Now everybody is meeting online. Zoom is the order of the day, StreamYard, and so on and so forth. So if in this situation as a leader, you're not adapting, then you're going to lose out. So we need these qualities. Now, how do we develop vision, understanding, and courage and adaptable leadership in times of uncertainty, volatility, and ambiguity? And we're going to share a few ideas and then we'll take the discussion. We just want to refresh our minds. On this platform, for us, leadership is influence. Ability to influence, to get people to follow you, the ability to lead a group of people from one point to the other. Because if you are a leader and nobody is listening to you, then you're not leading. Leadership is not about positions, even though positions are important. Leadership is different from management, even though management is important, managing resources, processes, and so on and so forth. But leadership is about people and how you are able to set the direction and get others to follow you, how you're able to make the difference, to bring the change that people need to be able to lift them up. Leadership is about service, your ability to impact others. And that is what we're going to talk about when we talk about strengthening the foundations of your leadership. Now, quickly, why don't people develop as leaders? And a lot of the time, we are not growing as leaders because so many of us think that, well, I'm not a born leader. Leaders are born, so I don't have the abilities, I don't have the skills, I don't have the competencies. No, each one of us can grow. Each one of us can lead. We may have different styles, different personalities, but leadership can be learned. You can learn to lead and lead better. You can grow. The other thing that sometimes impedes us is that we think that title and seniority will automatically make us a leader. So I'm waiting to become a manager. I'm waiting to become the CEO. I'm waiting to become a minister, head of department before I start leading. Oh, I'm not the leader of this house because I am not in a position. I don't have a title. And when I used to be in corporate life, a lot of people were actually, used to fight about titles. People want to fight about titles, senior manager, executive director, this and that. Those were so important. But titles alone don't make you a leader. Okay? In fact, titles don't make you a leader at all. There's a book with a title, Leader Without a Title. There's so many people who are leading without the title. You don't have to have a title to lead. You can lead from anywhere with or without a title. In fact, there are some people with titles of CEOs who are not leading at all. People think work experience will automatically make me a leader. No, we've seen people who have sat in the same job position, worked for 20, 30, 40 years, go on retirement without making any significant impact on other people or on the organization. So work experience alone does not make you a leader. So we want to note that. So if that is what is holding you back, please, let's have a mindset shift. Then I'm waiting until I get a position to start developing as a leader. Guys, it is not when you are given the position that you're going to start leading. You have to develop yourself now. You have to prepare yourself. Opportunity is preparation meeting time. When the opportunity comes, it is too late to prepare. So which of these reasons, okay, is holding you back? Which of these is holding you back? As you evaluate your life, where can you increase your influence? How can you grow and impact people? In your job, in your church, in your family? Which aspects of your life do you think you need to grow in? Your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, what is holding you back? We're going to share a few ideas as we go along. And I'm going to share 4 intentionalities. There are 4 things that I think if we're going to strengthen our leadership, if you're going to make an impact, if you're going to be significant, and if you're going to be relevant in your organization, in this world, if you're going to be relevant in developing yourself, these 4 intentionalities are very crucial. The first one is to be intentional about your personal growth. Very important, we'll discuss that. The second is being intentional about your professional development. We call it professional leadership. The third is be intentional with adding value to others, servant leadership. And the fourth point we're going to discuss is be intentional with your legacy. Call it legacy leadership or legacy mindedness. Now, we believe that with all that is going on around us, we need to be intentional. And to be intentional means that you are going to be conscious. You're going to be deliberate. You're not going to wait. You're not going to live your life to chance. You're not going to live your life by accident. It means you are going to make a deliberate, conscious, active effort day by day. You're going to manage your life day by day. You're going to grow day by day. It has to be planned and acted upon on a daily basis. That is intentional leadership. And that is what we're going to talk about. And we're calling 4 intentionalities, 4 areas that you need to be intentional to be strong as a leader. Let's get started, or let's get going. All right. Now, I take a passage from the scripture which says, Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, in favor with God and with man. Now, you don't have to be a Christian. You can be a Muslim. You don't have to be religious at all. The truth of this statement is universal. And here we are talking about personal growth. Now, personal growth is growing your person. It's different from professional growth that we will talk about. It's growing you. A lot of the time, we're going to school, we are learning academic things, we are learning professional things, and we think that that is all about. But personal growth is about your person. It's like the tree that brings forth the fruit. You have to grow the tree to be able to bring forth the fruit. Your competencies reside within you as a person. You bring you as a person to your job. You bring you as a person to your marriage. You bring you to your relationship. You bring you to your business. You is who we are talking about. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How do you develop yourself personally as a human being? It's not, we're not talking about your profession now, because a lot of the time when we talk about personal growth, a lot of people talk about profession. And one of my JMT colleagues recently was speaking about personal growth, and he says he likened it to a fruit, the orange. When you squeeze the orange, what do you get from it? Obviously, you squeeze an orange, you don't get a mango juice. you get orange juice. Now, if we squeeze you, what do we get out of you? That you is your person. And a lot of us have strengths that we are not utilizing. A lot of us have weaknesses that we have not worked ourselves. And we say, me, that's how I am. And I don't want to change. I can't change. No, you need to be able to change. Let's say a few ideas on which areas of you, your person, that you need to grow. And from this passage, there are 4 areas of growth that we see even the master and other masters, Muhammad and other leaders, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Teacher Nyerere, all these people who made impact on the world grew in these 4 areas. I've summarized them this way: physical development, intellectual development, emotional development, and spiritual development. If you're going to grow as a person, you have to pay attention to these 4 areas, which says Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, in favor with God, and favor with man. These 4 elements is what we glean from that. Your physical development is a stature. How do you grow physically? Now, physically means that you should take care of your body. You should eat well. You should exercise. You should sleep well. All your aspirations reside in your body. Let's take care of our body. Let's, take care, eat well, get professionals to guide us. We need to exercise. You don't have to go to the gym to lift heavy metals. No, do the exercise that is good for you. I mean, I wake up every day and I walk briskly 4 kilometers, 2 in, 2 out, and come. I mean, I meet some people who say, oh, you don't look your age. I've been doing this for several years. If I'm not able to walk in the day, over the weekend, like this week, I was very busy with my father in hospital and so on. So I was not able to go walking every day. This morning, I've walked like maybe 8 kilometers already. Almost 2 hours walking and so on. It's good, it's fit. When you walk and you sweat, it produces a lot of energies within you. It keeps you younger, it keeps you stronger, it keeps your mind alive, and you are able to think and reflect better. Leaders need to think and reflect better. That is very important. You also need to sleep well. Sleeping well also means that you should try to sleep at the right time. It's recommended to sleep 8 hours. Some of us, like me, I'm not able to sleep 8 hours, but at least I sleep 5 to 6 hours. But sleep the same time, right time. It's recommended that you sleep in a dark environment. Light distracts you. So sleep in the dark and sleep in a comfortable, cool environment. Try to get sleep. Meditate, pray, whatever so that you'll be able to sleep and sleep well. Because when you sleep, you regenerate yourselves, regenerate your system. The energies that you have dissipated in the day is restored. Very, very important. You need to have a regime for developing your physique, your body, to be strong. You need, in COVID times, you need to follow the protocols, protect yourself, wear your mask, and wash your hands, and keep yourself clean and hygienic environment. Very, very important to be able to grow. Then you have to grow intellectually. It's very important for your personal growth that your brain and your cognitive development is enhanced, because it is important for your ability to think logically through information processing, conceptual resources, and perceptual skills. Language learning skills is very important. As a leader, your mind is what you bring to your people, your thoughts, your ideas. So you need to read and read and read and read. If I ask the question, how many books have you read since you left school? It's going to be difficult for a lot of people to answer. A lot of us are just focused on our work day by day. We don't stop. We take one book we want to read, and then we read one page, one line, and we sleep. Please make an effort to read, because when you read, You are sitting on the shoulders of what somebody has used several years to learn. Very, very important. Organize yourself, plan seminars, look for people, men and women. You can come to the Center for Transformational Leadership. There are a lot of coaches in Ghana, John Maxwell, coaches in Ghana, who will help you to be able to grow yourself. No, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Discerning knowledge is power. Examine knowledge is power. You need to examine your knowledge. So grow physically, grow intellectually, also grow emotionally. Very, very important to grow emotionally. Because emotional intelligence is a capacity of recognizing your own feelings and those of others so that you can motivate and manage them. It's very important to manage your own emotions. And a lot of us leaders flare up very easily, and we destroy and spoil relationships that, that have been built over the years. So as part of your personal growth, please focus on emotional development. And this is very important because if you don't manage your emotions, it creates more stress in your body. It can lead to health issues. You lose your relationship. You can even lose your job. I've seen a lot of people who, in a state of anger, will just walk out or away from their job, or can be fired from their jobs because they are not emotionally healthy. They are not emotionally healthy. A lot of us have too much ego. And we feel so big and we can't relate to people. A lot of us just don't feel like, talking to people. Now, you cannot be a leader if you don't love and care about people. So if you don't want to see people around you, then you cannot be a leader, because leadership is about people. Leadership is about people. You cannot lead people if you don't love people. So if you don't love people, you don't want people in your life, then please, this business of leadership is not for you. All right. Let me skip a few slides on emotional intelligence. It's very, very important that we understand this, because research has indicated that for success in life, we need 25% of academic, and 75% is all about emotional and social intelligence. So please, let's work on our emotions. Emotion simply means energy in motion. There's a lot of energy in us which is moving, and you need to control it. Know yourself, know others, know how to relate to them, and keep relationship going. All right. Then the last thing about your personal growth is spiritual development. Do you believe in something beyond the material world? As a Christian, and I don't impose my beliefs on you, but I believe there is a God. I don't believe that this universe just came by accident. I believe that as a human being, you have a spirit. And I also believe that the world is not just the physical. So yes, there are signs. Yes, we can examine the physical world, but there are some questions in this life that we are not able to answer. Even we are talking about COVID. People are asking, where is this from? How did it come? The scientists are trying to understand. The politicians are trying to understand. We don't understand fully how this universe works, because there is a God and there is a spirit. And so you have to develop spiritually. You have to have a connection with your source, the person who created you. Whichever religion you believe in, or whichever method you believe in, connecting with God, who is your source, please develop yourself spiritually. You need to have a holistic approach. Okay, it's not just also spirit. You need to understand that spiritual exercises, prayer, fasting, meditation. Today, a lot of people believe that you need to meditate and think and visualize and dream. Dreams all come from your ability to connect with the spirit. And this requires disciplined exercises, regular spiritual exercises, just like you have for physical exercises. So that is personal growth. The second thing about you need to grow in this year to strengthen your foundation is your professional development. Now, personal development is about the person. Professional development is about what you do for a living. You're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you are an accountant, you're a banker, you're a farmer, you're a driver, you're a business person. What do you do for a living? A lot of us are working, but we have not taken time to learn more about our job. And here again, I have a quotation for you. In professional development, what is important is excellence. Excellence. And there's a passage in the Bible that is apt, whether you're a Christian or Muslim or whatever. I recommend it to you, which says, finally, brothers, sisters, whatever is true in your work, truth is important. Whatever is noble, in your work, you need to be noble. Whatever is right. A lot of us are working and we are cutting corners. Is it right? Is it pure? Whatever is lovely, what you're doing at work, do people love to see you? Whatever is admirable. At your profession, you need to be guided by some standards and principles. And these include rightness, pure mind, admirability. Your work must speak for you. And to do that, you need to be able to develop in your profession. It says, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. Now, as far as your profession is concerned, excellence is what this is talking about. Excellence. You need to aim to be excellent, to do your work with perfection. You to do your work, well, not with perfection because you cannot be perfect, but you can be excellent. You can do things well. And I mean, this last few weeks that, I've come close to COVID and to our medical system, I've seen men and women, nurses who are working very well within limited resources. I mean, this doctor, Dr. Adipa, I mentioned his name, I spoke to him. He's a great guy who, though junior doctor, he's relating well with all the patients. I mean, he's just great. Everybody talks about him. He takes his time. That is what your work is about. Your work is about the people you work to. How are you developing yourself? A few points here. To be excellent professionally, you have to be able to deliver on your current schedule professionally. You are not paid for your efforts, you are paid for results. So you've given a job, you have to deliver. If you're not delivering, you're not giving your results, you're not achieving your target, you're going to be fired. 2, understand your job, your company, the industry, and the trend, especially in this COVID times in 2021. Things are changing fast. Keep abreast. Be on platforms where people are discussing banking. If you're a banker, if you're a doctor, be on a platform where people are talking about the profession, the new ideas going on. Be abreast with the trends. Develop, number 3, additional competencies and certifications. Don't just keep your degree and just hope that you're going to sit for 20 years. Please look for opportunities, look for short courses in your field and develop. Learn new languages. I remember when I used to work for EcoBank and we needed to expand to other countries. And I mean, within the group at that time, the good candidates that could be moved to be MDs were all in the Anglophone countries and were moving into Francophone countries. Good bankers, but they couldn't speak French, especially people from Ghana, surrounded north, south, east, and west by Francophone countries. But we never take advantage. So we had to move one gentleman from Ghana to, I believe, Mali, and it was terrible. Good banker, but he failed because he couldn't speak the language. It's important that in times of after that, we're going to have African regional, free trade zone, languages, Swahili, French, and different other languages. You need to begin to get the basics so that when you move into Kenya, when you move to Tanzania, when you move to Cote d'Ivoire, when you move out of wherever you are to another place, you'll be able to operate. Acquire new skills, new competencies, new certification, get certified, get licensed in the profession where you are. Graduate, okay? 4, move out of your comfort zone. You've done one thing for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Please ask your boss to move you to another section. Do something more challenging. Don't just sit there and just lazy about. Please move out. Do something more challenging. I remember as a lawyer and I joined the stock exchange. I mean, after 2 years at the stock exchange, I realized that I needed to move into understand more finance, because as I read the prospectus and things, the financial terms were very, very difficult. And I had to go get an MBA, International Financial Management. I mean, as a lawyer at EcoBank, at one point, I asked my boss, I just want to move. I move out of legal, move into investment bank a bit. It was challenging. And then I went back to law again. Another time, I moved into the business, moved to Tanzania, helped set. It was challenging, difficult. It was a new field, but I had to brace it. In all that experience, I became a better professional, a better lawyer, okay? Because I understand the business of banking and finance, how it is applied in the legal profession. So please acquire new skill, move out of your comfort zone, and finally, focus on excellence. We've talked about that, not perfection. You know, some people want to be just perfect. You can make mistakes. Things are not always right, but focus on doing things well. That is important. That's professional development. All right. That's number 2 that you need to do. Number 3 that you need to be intentional about. So we talk about being intentional about your personal growth. Very, very important. You as a person, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Develop your strength and work on your weaknesses and grow as a person. And 2, be intentional about your professional growth. Have a plan of courses that you want to do this year so that you can grow. Have a plan about courses that you want to do personally so that you can grow and become a better person. The third intentionality is being intentional with adding value to others. Leadership is about adding value to others. It's called servant leadership. I put a case again from scripture. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, and trust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. Now, this was Apostle Paul talking to Timothy, who he has trained and brought up. And he's saying that, look, I've taught you, I've developed you. Now, the things that have impacted in you, you impact into other people, and let them also impact into other people. The succession of impacting, adding value to other people. A lot of us in business and corporate life hold knowledge. We don't want to let people know what we know. We are hiding files, we are hiding information under the guise of confidentiality. We don't want to teach people about the profession because we think that when they know it, they will take our seat. The best way to be indispensable in the corporate life, I can tell you, is to make yourself dispensable by teaching more, by imparting more, letting people know your work and grooming more people. So you need to be intentional about adding value to people, about encouraging people, inspiring people, motivating people around you. You know, there's no point in being bossy and lording it over other people. Little services, little help, little encouragement, little work here to encourage and inspire others is going to go a long way to enhance your leadership. And when I was in corporate life, we used to have some managers. Anytime they entered into the elevator or the lift, nobody wanted to enter into it because you went into it. Sometimes they would even tell you, look at you and say, get off the list, because you cannot go into the lift with them because they are bosses. No way. You are still a human being. People are coming to work. They are fathers, they are mothers, they are some people are even chiefs in their villages, and they come to work. You have to respect people. Now, adding value to people has to be intentional, because studies have shown that 90% of people who add value to people do so intentionally. In the same way, 90% of people who subtract value from people, they do it unintentionally. People hurt people unintentionally. We think we do, and we are saying things, and we think we are right. And this period, I mean, my father is in a critical situation, and I'm trying to find solution. We did a lab. He has issues with his lungs, and I'm looking for ideas from different doctors. And then I got what I thought was a good idea from the doctor who treated him at the COVID, and I shared it with the doctor who was treating him at the medical ward. And unknowing to me, the doctor got offended. I was surprised that I was sharing some good information with him, and he got offended. It was later that I found out that apparently he was a senior doctor, and the doctor that gave this idea was a junior doctor. And he was offended that I had gone to ask opinion from a junior doctor, and I'm sharing with him. Long story. Eventually, the solution that was provided, the medication that was provided, was the solution that was preferred by the junior doctor. So you can have ideas from different places. But the point here is that I got him offended. I didn't know that I had offended him. If I had known that, this was a junior doctor and I knew him well, and I would not have done it the way I did it. Okay. To add value to people, you have to be intentional, conscious. You have to be aware. It means knowing yourself. It means knowing people, knowing their strength, knowing their weaknesses, knowing what turns them off and what turns them on. You have to be intentional about adding value to people. Commit to building, to being fun, motivating, and inspiring. Develop a whole person. Those of us in corporate life, a lot of the time we just focus on the results. But what about the person who brings the results? What about the person who brings the results? We don't care what is happening in their homes, in their lives. People are hurting and they are coming to work. As a leader, this year, if you're going to be a better leader and strengthen your foundations, you have to focus on the people who work for you. You have to be intentional about adding value to others. That is number 3. And number 4, intentionality, and we bring this discussion to an end, and then you can ask questions. Number 4 is be intentional about your legacy. Be intentional about what are you leaving behind. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are leaving behind is not a house, it's not a cars, it's not the money that you are leaving behind that we are talking about. It is true that you have to leave all these things, and the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but a sinner's wealth is laid up for the for the righteous. One generation shall commend your good works to another and shall declare your mighty acts. Generation after generation want to know, what did you contribute to your organization? Generation after generation want to know, what did you bring to your family? Generation want to know, what did you bring to your country? As somebody said, ask not what your country will give to you, but what you will give to your country. This business of legacy is so important, very, very important, because it is what you leave behind. It's the impression you make on others. And you do this only by being intentional and asking yourself, what is the difference that I want to make? You are living in an area which is dirty. People are piling up rubbish. You watch it, you pass, and you always, oh, why do people keep this place dirty? What are you going to do to start a campaign in that area to make the environment cleaner? And when you leave that environment, people will continue talking about you. So what problems do you see around you? How can you contribute to solving those problems? That is where your legacy is found. It is also found in the people you develop. How many people have you impacted? What impression do you make? Now, John C. Maxwell is my coach and my mentor, and he tells a story about how in one of his birthdays, somebody gave him a book, and the book was so beautiful with the title, The Best Story Ever Told. and he says the best story ever told. Wow, he wanted to read the book. Opened the book, and the book was full of blank pages to the end. Then he came back to the beginning and he saw this note at the cover page saying, John, the best story ever told is your own story. Leave these blank pages, fill these blank pages with stories of impactation, of problem solving, of adding to people that would make your story beautiful. All of us, our lives are like blank pages. When life is over, people are going to take that book that we have written, which is our life story. The question is, what story are people going to read? When you read about Gandhi, when you read about Luther, when you read about Nelson, when you read about Nkrumah, when you read about Yasantua, when you read about all the great people in your country, what are people going to read about you? That is your legacy. Best leaders work themselves out of the job to a higher level. You groom people, you train people. Now, my last word for 2020 is the word credibility. If you're going to be a strong leader with strong foundation, you're going to have to be credible as a leader. Be credible as a leader. Because credibility is what creates authority. That comes from integrity. And integrity means, from arithmetic is integer, the number that cannot be divided. It's not divisible. You are one, the same every time to all people. If your people buy into you, then they will want what you want because they trust you. It's trust, integrity. That is what credibility is about. But if you're a leader and people don't trust you, then you're not going to be able to go. Foundation for leadership is trust. And if people trust you, then they will align with your vision. Good character builds strong trust and creates significance. If you're going to be significant, if you're going to be impactful in 2021 and beyond, if your leadership is going to be stronger, you have to be intentional about your personal growth. You have to be intentional about your professional growth. You have to be intentional about adding value to people, and you have to be intentional about your legacy. Every leader who has been impactful have worked on these 4 pillars of leadership. And if you are intentional in these 4 areas, your leadership is going to be strong, you're going to be relevant, you're going to be impactful, and you're going to be significant 2021 and beyond. Those are my words for you, and I'll end here. And you can contact us. Please join, subscribe to our YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, and join us in Twitter and so on at ctlafrica.com. And go to our website. We have all the previous lessons from very inspiring leaders also filed on our leadership platform session on our website, where you can go and listen to the videos. You can go to our YouTube and listen to our videos. And please let us hear from you. You can now contribute to the discussion by asking questions and, growing as a leader. Thank you very much for being for listening, and we await your question. Please type your questions into the box. You can introduce your name. You can ask questions, and you can share your views. All right. So let me go back. I have so many people joining. Ebenezer Tufo joining from Abuja. I have Beatrice Opon Ejare. Good evening. Thank you, Beatrice. Helen Konya. Thank you very much. Joining from France, Alfred Asare is here from the Village of Hope. Miriam Boite is joining from Ghana. Helen is there. Teresa Asare Kuma from Ghana, Akosia Samoa joining us. Frank Asian, thank you for joining. Ben BJK, listening. Thank you so much. Jerry Boachi, Dankwa, we thank you. Let me see what you're saying here from Accra. I'm happy to be back. Thank you. We are happy to have you after 1 month. Okay, Anna, thank you for joining. Alexander Leones join us. Alexander says, staff of the Office of the President. Thank you very much, Alexander. Let's give a word to the President. We would like to have more training for more people. Invite more of your people to join. Judith Owusu is online. Tepekwesi Peter is online. Thank you, Judith. Suleiman Asafua from Accra. Thank you, Jerry Boache. I can see your screen. Thank you. Shadrach Owusu. Thank you. Seth is here. Seth Abankwa. We have so many people. We have Atupele joining us from Tanzania. Thank you very much for joining us from Tanzania. Ama Agata, thank you for joining us. Esther Aye from the UK, my lawyer friend, learned friend. Thank you, Samuel Ahave. Thank you for joining. Oh, so many people. Isaac Carpentin, Jerry Boache, Nathan Adams, Ama Josie, thank you. Juliana Darko, Cynthia Martinson, thank you. Alex Piasa, thank you. Doctor, for joining us. Ebenezer Niama, we thank you. And so many, many people. William, Shandorf, I cannot mention the names, all of them. There so many people. Let's see if we have some questions. Let's see if we have some questions. Felix says, be intentional about your personal, professional, emotional, and spiritual development. Absolutely. Very, very important. Let's see if we have any question. Can someone who sees everyone as an equal be a leader? That is Ben asking the question. Can someone who sees everyone as equal be a leader, and how? Well, I'm not sure I understand. You see everyone as equal. Well, I mean, in a certain level, if I understand the question, look, we are all human, okay? We have different roles, but we are all the same. As humans, we all have the same desires, we have the same aspirations, we all want to be happy, we want to have a happy home, we all want to be successful, we all want to grow and develop, we all want to be happy and live in a good environment, we all want to travel and enjoy. So we are all basically the same, but we are all, different in other ways. So as a leader, first you have to understand, in a sense, we are all the same, but in a sense also we are all different. We have different personalities, we have different needs, we have different emotional needs. And so as a leader, you have to understand the differences of people, because you cannot lead everybody equally. A good leader will lead everybody different. That means that you want to know where the person is and help the person to become better. So please, if I got your question, that will be my answer. David Kwabnas says, great presentation. Thank you very much. Agatha says, thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. All right, let me see. I'm not seeing any questions yet, unless I've skipped. Oh, there is Josh Sintim. George Sintim says, it is always a time well spent listening to you. Thanks for the presentation. Please, it is said that when one finds it too challenging to do a particular task, no matter how hard he tries, it might be that that task or profession might not be his area of call by God. In such situation, will you advise he quits? Can quitting be important at a particular point in a man's life? when will you advise one to quit? All right. I believe we have discussed leading with passion. I'll check. If we haven't, we'll do leading with passion and you will understand. Yes, if the task is difficult for you, is it difficult for you because you're not applying yourself, or is because you really don't understand? Have you asked for help? Have you contacted people who have done it before? Because you can't do what you don't know. Okay, so if you don't have the knowledge about the task, it will surely be difficult. All of us, when we went to school and we started adding 1+1, 1+2, it was difficult. It took time. So difficulty alone in a task does not mean that it is not in your passion area. In fact, you can be in your passion area and face difficult challenges. And difficult challenges help you to grow. Once you learn and you overcome them, then you grow. But if the job you're doing is everyday painful, if you don't enjoy the work you're doing, if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like going to that workplace, then maybe that work is not within your passion zone. Because if it is in your passion zone, you don't sleep at work. You don't sleep even in your bed. It keeps you awake. You want to go to it. It gives you wings and you fly. Passion is absolutely important in every profession you choose. Unfortunately, a lot of us are in professions that have been chosen by us, either by our parents or by our school system. You apply to go and do biochemistry, then they tell you, well, all you have is biology, and you are supposed to take it. I applied to go and do business administration, and they push me into law. I had to do law and enjoy it for 25 years. It served me well. All my bosses think I'm a good lawyer. But if you come to my house, you won't find law books. You'll find leadership books. You have books about people. You will find books about management and leading and things like that. That is my passion. I can speak for 100 hours discussing leadership, helping people, and teaching. That is my passion. Okay. Yes, I've been a lawyer for 30 years now. But hey, I don't even feel like going to court. Okay, so if it is not your passion, you will not be very successful. You will try, but you will not be very successful. But difficulty alone is not enough to say you are quitting. Okay, because quitters don't win and winners don't quit. So you have to stick to it. You have to focus. You have to ask for help. You have to ask for information. You have to discuss with others, share with people. Look, sharing ideas. If you have one idea, somebody has another idea, and you put it together, the law of synergy says that you get more than two ideas. So one idea plus one idea, it's only in the Bible that 1+1 is 1. Okay? It's the Bible definition of marriage. But any other things, 1+1 is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? You can add 1+1 ideas, you get 3 more. That's the law of synergy. So ask people for help. Ask people for help. All right? Okay. Let me see if there are any other questions. Please remind me on solution for uncertainty. You want me to remind you of the understanding. If you are in an uncertain situation, then what is needed to address uncertainty is understanding. And your people in the COVID environment, when things are uncertain, people want to understand what is going on. So as a leader, you want to get more information. You want to understand what is COVID. You want to understand the solution. You want to understand the ideas and share it. Okay, that is understanding. All right. So, okay, hope that helps. All right. Okay, let's see what other questions. What other question? All right. I think we've taken this. Ebenezer, thank you. Helen, thank you. It's a very enriching. Thank you. Thank you very much. Teresa says thank you. Okay, Vivian and Perry. In corporate world, there is an approval hierarchy to follow. How can you demonstrate your leadership when your boss is not cooperative? I'll give a brief answer, but one of the questions one of the topics we're going to spend time fully treating, and very soon on this platform in the next few weeks, is leading your boss. And we have the Winning with People series, which we are going to do. How do we lead your boss? Now, it is true, we have very challenging situations. We have a lot of bosses who are just that, boss. And I believe when we talked about the levels of leadership in one of these platforms, go back and look at our presentation on levels of leadership. We talked about the levels of leadership. We see that a lot of our people are just bosses and they are not leaders. They are just bosses, they are not leaders. And it is very, very difficult when you work with a boss who is not a leader. Now, how do you do that? A few ideas. We talk about emotional intelligence. First, know your boss. I mean, we used to have a boss who was very difficult, and we all know when he is in good mood and when he's not in good mood. And this principle is also taught to couples. There are times when your boss will listen, and there are times, even the most difficult people, there are times that they are happy. And we had a boss who, we know that his wife was not in town. Anytime his wife came to town, he was more lively, he was willing to approve things, he was prepared to, he was prepared to do things quickly and go home. And so anytime his wife is around, everybody knows that if you have the most challenging situation, that is the time to go and talk to him. Okay, so we knew that. Learn a bit more about your boss, study his personality. That's what we mean by being intentional. Study his personality, study his mood, study his emotions, study what makes him happy, and find a way to, take advantage of those situations. And when he is not in the mood, like we used to say, one of our boss, that the storms are very turbulent. When the storms are turbulent, that's not the time to go and discuss difficult issues. So know your boss. If you know your boss well, you'll be able to know when it's the right time to discuss. Another approach is sometimes when it's a good idea and you are not able to go to him directly, you may want to use other people that he listens to. Everybody listens to somebody. So find another route, go listen to go to the person who he can listen to, communicate through them, and maybe they will listen. All right? Okay. Let me see if there are other questions. Fuzeni, merci beaucoup Fuzeni, très belle présentation avec un grand focus sur le thème. Merci Fuzeni from Burkina Faso. Joseph Elom Honyo is here. Alex, before you quit, go back to your why. All right, so that's very good. And we had leading with your why. Before you quit, thank you, Alex, for sharing that. All right. Why don't we have leaders in our part of the world? Any reason, Jerry Boachi? Jerry, we have leaders. Maybe we don't have a lot, but we have leaders. We have had leaders and we have leaders. But the problem is that I think we need to make the leadership subject one of the core principles. Look, we go to school to learn law, we go to learn accounting, we go to learn medicine, we go to learn whatever. And then when you come to the job, they make you the medical director, or they make you a matron of the nurses or whatever. And nobody takes his time to teach you leading. Because you know the job, you're a good medical doctor, they make you the medical director. But being a good doctor does not make you a good leader. Because you are a good lawyer doesn't mean that you can lead the law firm. You need leadership skills. It is because we don't teach those skills. And that is why the Center for Transformational Leadership is set up. This is why we set up this center, and we want to focus on leadership and bringing these ideas every week, and in our corporate training, in our coaching programs, in our annual Live to Lead programs. Go to our website. That is why we are here. So each one of us can grow and learn to be a leader. But like every other skill, it has to be taught. And the reason we don't have many leaders, as we say, is because we don't teach leadership a lot. All right. Okay. So I hope that helps. Let me see. Kofi, do you see any other question that we have missed? Let me see. Just be careful so we have not missed any question. Okay, we've answered Josie's question. All right. So I believe we have addressed most of the questions here, but please feel free to share your ideas. Alex, okay, thank you. I've looked at this. All right. So I'm not seeing any more questions. Please feel free to share. We will be around here for the next few minutes. I'll be online. If you have more questions, you can still ask them. But I just want to inform you that we had a very good master class on Put Your Dream to the Test, and great lessons that we learned in January. Now in March, we're going to have another a master class, 2-3 day master class on growth, personal growth. And we're going to work through John C. Maxwell's book, The 15 Laws of Growth. So this subject that we are discussing, we're going to take it into much, much more detail. We're going to have a full 3-day masterclass. So very soon we're going to advertise for those of you who want to grow. Once we advertise, please register and let's grow together. If you put your dream to the test, you can ask Akosia and others. Very fantastic lessons we learned on how to dream and how to develop your dream and how to realize your dream and all the factors you need so that you can dream big and achieve great things and achieve a legacy dream for your life. But that is over. We will repeat it another time for those of you who couldn't join. But if you are interested, we still can do a coaching on Put Your Dream to the Test for you one-on-one. So you can contact me, and my number is 054-07-08-433. That's the Ghana number. The Ghana code is +233. So if you want to contact me on WhatsApp, +233-054-07-08-433. That is my number. So if you have any question, we are here. Jerry says, our leaders are not able to take hard decisions because of cronyism. How do we address this going forward? Well, when we talk about professionalism and talk about excellence, we talk about things that are lovely, things that are pure, and so on and so forth. Now, this is one of the big problems that we have. I mean, every country that has developed, the Singapores, the Malaysias, the Chinas, and this thing, they are built on merit. If we're building organizations that are based on just because it's your friend, because it's your family, even though they are not doing well, then you continue to keep them, that is going to be a problem. That is one of the problems we have. The solution is that each one of us on this platform should commit to be the difference that we want to see. If you have opportunity to recruit, to enroll, please, you want to go for the best for the job. If the best for the job happens to be a friend, it's even better. But it should not be from your just because he's my friend, whether he qualifies or not, he will be employed. This is not good. This is not good for our countries. This is not good for our businesses. And this has hurt us for a very long time. And all of us on this platform, this platform is here to change minds. Okay. So we encourage you to be the difference that you want to see. Thank you. All right. What is the best way of helping a leader? What is the best way of helping a leader? That's by Ben. Ben's question is, what is the best way of helping a leader? The best way of helping a leader, ask him. Ask the leader the help he needs. And of course, sometimes the leader may not know, but that's the best way. If you want to help somebody, ask the person what he needs. Because a lot of the time we assume that people need things or people want to, they need some help, and the help may not be the ones they need. So ask them. Now, if you think that they need help in certain areas, still ask them, oh, boss, I can see you need help in this area. Or can I help in this area? And then they will tell you if they need help there. They can say, oh, yes, I've been looking for somebody to help me in this area. Or they can say, oh, no, rather, I need help in this area. So the best way to help anybody is to ask the person. All right. Okay. So we're here. I mean, if you want to stay around, you can ask questions. But otherwise, we want to thank all of you who joined this platform. We believe that you have learned something. Next week, we will come your way with another very impactful lesson and hopefully another speaker. So stay tuned and please leave your contact with us. Contact us to let us have your share this platform with your friends, with your school platforms, with your colleagues, with anybody. And please, let the message go that every Saturday, 7 p.m. GMT, we are on this platform, sharing leadership ideas, learning together, growing together. And if you are the head of HR or you know your HR and you want leadership lessons or you want us to come and help, we can come in, design and deliver leadership courses, personal growth courses for your teams so that you can have a better team for yourself. If you're the CEO and you want to help your people grow, please feel free and invite us. We will be able to come and help you. We also do coaching, executive coaching, and we have a platform called the Breakfast Club Africa, which is a coaching platform. And monthly, we do also have meetings for CEOs. And we also have meetings for the next level we call the C-suite. So we would advertise them for those of you in executive positions. The next meeting for the C-suite meeting is it's on the 24th of February, and we would advertise, we will share it on our platform, and it's targeted as people who are aiming to be CEOs. So all of you who want to be CEOs, you want to join that platform, it's on the 24th, and we will share it. If you want more information, just contact me, and we'll give you more information. And the speaker is going to be great. It's Mr. Arnold Ekpe, who built EcoBank from a loss making to a flourishing organization, and the theme is going to be transforming organizations for results. So for those of you who are CEOs and who want to be CEOs, that platform is also coming up on the 24th. But before then, next week, we will be here again on the leadership platform. Thank you, everybody. My name is Samuel Ayim, your host. Always happy to be with you. And thank you for sharing part of your Saturday evening with us. God be with you. God be with us. God give us wisdom to be able to grow as leaders. Thank you very much.
There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks.
This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters.